How's it going, everyone? I'm still here at Vocab's house. We're working on some new episodes of Mohammed's Boom Boom Room. I would normally wait till I got home to record my classic videos, but there are so many stories breaking right now that I didn't want to get too far behind, so let's check this one out. Last month, a Saudi Air Force officer opened fire in a classroom at Naval Air Station Pensacola, where he was training to fly the fighter jets that the U.S. sold to our new BFF in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia. Shortly before killing 3 and injuring several more in his attack, Second Lieutenant Mohammed Saeed Alshamrani tweeted a message to the American people in which he quoted Osama bin Laden and Sheikh Anwar al-Awlaki. So Alshamrani was being trained on a U.S. military base, even though he was a supporter of al-Qaeda. The question that immediately arose was, did he act alone? Investigators decided to take a closer look at some of the other Saudi servicemen training in the U.S., and while they didn't find any connections to last month's terrorist attack in Florida, they found enough to send more than a dozen Saudi servicemen back to Saudi Arabia. CNN reports, more than a dozen Saudi servicemen training at U.S. military installations will be expelled from the United States after a review that followed the deadly shooting last month at a Naval Air Station in Pensacola, Florida, multiple sources told CNN. The Saudis are not accused of aiding the 21-year-old Saudi Air Force second lieutenant who killed 3 American sailors in the December shooting, 2 sources said, but some are said to have connections to extremist movements, according to a person familiar with the situation. A number are also accused of possessing child pornography, according to a defense official and the person familiar with the situation. The FBI and Justice Department declined to comment. In the wake of the Pensacola tragedy, the Department of Defense restricted to classroom training programs foreign military students from Saudi Arabia while we conducted a review and enhancement of our foreign student vetting procedures, said Lieutenant Colonel Robert Carver, a spokesman for the Department of Defense. That training pause is still in place while we implement new screening and security measures. So, investigators checked the computers of Saudi servicemen training in the U.S. and found more than a dozen who were connected to extremist movements and/or were avid collectors of child pornography. Now, some random person from any background could have the sort of personality that makes him want to join an extremist movement. And some random person from any background could be a sick pervert who wants to look at child pornography. But can you think of anything within the ideology that's shared by the servicemen from our wonderful ally Saudi Arabia that might increase their chances of supporting terrorist organizations or that might increase their chances of thinking about sex with children? In other words, is it just a coincidence that these Saudi servicemen were drawn to violence and perversion? Or is it connected to their ideology? Let me know what you think in the comments section. All right, now I have to go shave because Jeffrey Epstein did not have a beard.